Yep. Welcome to Utopia Football Insider. Chris Ransom, Oren, Shiri here, and we're going to break down the games. I've already got the point spreads memorized, but you can see the visuals a lot better, but I've already got the point spreads memorized because I looked at them before we went on the air with this. But yeah, Texans, Chiefs, and I am going to be using the point spreads that this LED news ticker provides me with instead of gambling odds because the spreads always vary. But the Texans play the Chiefs in Arrowhead. The Chiefs are at -8 right now entering that game. And I think the Chiefs are going to win this. I mean, Clay Martin's calling the game. I even told Brad Noble that they're probably going to give Clay Martin this game because he called the Browns-Texans game and he called the Chiefs win against the Browns. And what do you know? Clay Martin ends up getting the game.
Like it was just yesterday, like maybe 3 weeks ago, week 16 of the regular season, the Chiefs beat the Texans 27-19. Another crazy win for the Chiefs. Well, the refs go, my notion on the refs. I'm not going to get into that. I have the Chiefs winning here, but in a close game, actually, I think the Texans will try to give them a run for their money. I do think eventually the Kansas City Chiefs will lose, even though there have been, all jumpy and but it's just Texans. I don't think with C.J. Stroud are the right team to give them a run for their money. They still in the AFC Championship will face either the Bills or the Ravens, and I just feel that those teams probably are a little bit more stronger than who they're playing this week. I do see them. I'm going to take a score. Going to keep it around the same that they had last time. I think the Texans will play actually a better game. Let's just say have a win over the field goal. I'm going to go 23-20 here.
All right. As far as this game goes, I like the Chiefs here. I think the Chiefs are going to do enough to win this game. I mean, the Texans had suspect nickel corner play injuries at safety, but it didn't matter because Herbert could not make the right decisions. And I'm looking at this. So as far as the Chiefs are favored of the money line. Majority of the betting's on the Texans to cover the spread, but the Chiefs to cover the money line at -8.5, and the over-under is 50-50. So here's what we're going to do. Since the over-under is 41.5, that we're going to go with the under here. I believe this game will be more competitive defensively, but the Chiefs find a way to get it done. And I believe the Kansas City Chiefs
Chris,
win.
The refs find a way to get it done. I bet they win so close at the end of the game. That's a fact. Put on the red jerseys. They're not black.
I believe if the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs win. My score is going to be, I'm trying to think of a good score for this game. I'll go 24-16 Chiefs. Defensive game, 8-point win, just like last time. But, well, I don't know about that. I feel like the Chiefs will end up covering because a lot of people are betting on the Texans to cover that spread. So I'm just trying to think of a good number that sort of adds up to 40 or 41 as far as the point spread goes. That's the challenge, Oren, but I will go 24-13 Chiefs. I know, a little bit of hesitation, but I think the under happens and the Chiefs cover.
You want to move to the NFC or take that other game that the AFC has?
Let's go with the Lions Commanders. It's Jane Daniels versus Jared Goff. And the Lions are already moved up to -9.5. And the reason why I think this will probably, because the Lions are getting David Montgomery back. Yes, the Lions are getting David Montgomery back this week, but they do have a ton of injuries. And I'm looking at that and I'm looking at, okay.
Well, just take it like this. What Chris is trying to say, I believe, is Montgomery's back and Gibbs, it's impossible to stop their running game. It's going to be set apart the offense.
The Sonic and Knuckles running
Their
game
offense
is
is going to be
very
in full
good.
strength. And
not really. Kevin Zeitler's been ruled out at right guard, but they do have their top two running backs back in the lineup.
Yeah, the line's been suffering injuries. They really can't really see and notice when they have their weapons there. This is going to help contribute to Goff a lot. And I just don't get me wrong. Jaden Daniels has had a superior quarterback rookie season for the Commanders or Redskins, whatever you want to call them. I just think the Lions, it's their year in the NFC. And anybody else would like to tell me otherwise, I couldn't say that otherwise. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Commanders and Jaden Daniels have pulled off some incredible wins this season, and they may surprise us all. But I just see the Lions winning here, and they're not even going to keep it close. I mean, they have damaged the time and frame of what we can do here. I just think it's going to be 31-20. So I'm going to give Jaden.
Dang it! You took my score, Oren. That was the exact score I was going to go with. I was thinking 31-21, but then I realized, with Terry and Arnold off the injury report, I'm going to dock the Commanders a point because Terry and Arnold's going to be back at corner as well. If the Lions didn't have Terry and Arnold or Carlton Davis, I think Daniels could score 21 on the Lions. Terry and Arnold's off the injury report at corner. So 31-20, Oren and I have the exact same score. Different reasons, different thought processes, but same conclusion, same final score.
Before we, close this one, I mean, Commanders' defense, that's what's lost in that team. I think in a couple of years, they may be one of the representatives in the NFC championship with Jaden Daniels and company. But for right now, between the other three teams, I just don't see them surviving in that complex. But it's a great win for them last week, but I think this is where it stops.
I agree. I like the over in this game, and I think the Commanders probably point spreads 41.5 in the Chiefs game. The over-under's 55.5. I do not see the over occurring in this game. 55.5, I think that's a little bit too much, a little bit too rich for my blood. But yeah, I'm going to take the Lions 31-20, same score as Oren. Rams and Eagles. The Eagles are favored to win by 6, -6. It's gone up from -6 to -6.5, by the way. I don't think it's going to be like the earlier game in the regular season, but I'm looking at the running backs.
First time the Rams and Eagles played.
Actually, they played in LA earlier in the regular season. The Eagles walloped the Rams in that game. Sunday night football game. It was not.
That's when they didn't have a couple of the receivers.
That's true. But a majority of the public's betting the under in this game at 44.5. So give me the over. 31-24. Eagles beat the Rams by a touchdown. Give me and I know it's snowing. I know the weather is going to be a factor, but one of these games the over is going to hit. I think this is the game where the over hits. And I like the Eagles 31-24 in a game where I think both Kyren Williams and Saquon Barkley dominate on the ground.
Well, I am hesitant to.
With Nakobe Dean out for the year, it's going to be easy for Kyren Williams. With Nakobe Dean out for the year, I think both running backs are going to explode in this game.
Well, I just feel that the Rams, if they can contain Saquon Barkley in the Philadelphia running game, they can pull off an upset, Chris.
They could, because the Rams linebackers are actually healthier than the Eagles now. I mean, heading into the playoffs, the Eagles have the healthier linebackers, but
I did pick the Rams, folks.
yes,
This is going to be a wake-up call for the Rams to stop the defense. Don't get me wrong, but I feel towards the end of the season they look like a better team, and they're not going to dominate the Eagles. I don't know when they play. I think this is I don't know.
This is a Sunday afternoon game at 2. But the only reason I mentioned the linebackers because Nakobe Dean had a pectoral tear in the Packers game, and if Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond are healthy,
the Rams did play the Eagles. That's right. Barkley dominated that game.
Yeah, but the Rams didn't have their linebackers. Some of their linebackers were injured in that game. The Rams are getting all their linebackers back at full health for this game, and Nakobe Dean, who dominated that regular season game, is out for this playoff game. I think that's going to matter, and it's going to lead to the Eagles winning, but this is going to be a lot closer than they'd like. And I'm going to go 31-24 Eagles with the over.
I'm going to go to a little bit lower score game. I'm going to have the Rams 24-20, and I believe that's going to be the score towards the end of the game. Very close game. It could be 20-17, but I think it's going to be 3 or 4 points, and they're going to upset the Eagles at home. I just feel that the Rams are intense and in a full mode to win if you saw the last 3 games with the Rams, especially with their wide receivers coming back.
Yeah, some of the players.
To win Minnesota was not easy, and I just feel that they're going to keep coming, and they're going to have the Eagles. This is exactly where they want to be right now.
Okay, so 54% of the public's betting on the under in Buffalo for the over-under, and the over-under in the Bills-Rams game is 51.5. And yeah, unfortunately, I do not see both teams getting a fifth. Usually I'll do the opposite and take the over, but the Bills play a lot of zone coverage, which does not work against the Ravens. The Ravens, Lamar thrives at zone coverage. He struggles in man coverage. So the Bills are getting Teron Johnson back, who got injured in the first quarter against Denver. He will be back. Zay Flowers is not practiced this week. It does look like the Bills have a chance defensively. Even if this is a high-scoring game, I seriously doubt the over of 51.5 hits. So you're looking at 20. I will go with the Ravens 27, Bills 24. 51 combined points, but the over does not hit, and the under barely hits. But I'll take the Ravens to win. I think this game will be a lot closer. I think the Ravens match up well against the Chiefs. I don't think the Bills, because here's the thing, even if the Bills end up leading the majority of the game, we know something's going to happen. If the Bills play the Chiefs in the AFC title, we know some BS thing's going to happen at the end. Like maybe the Chiefs tie it at the end, or maybe they go for a 2-point conversion at the end of regulation. They get it. And that's how the Bills get screwed out of the Super Bowl. After leading for like 50 minutes in the AFC Championship, the Chiefs find a way to rally back, and then they go for a 2-point conversion in regulation. They get it. And that's how the Bills get screwed out of the Super Bowl. That's how Allen loses to Mahomes. I mean, I can see that. I mean, it's not likely, but I can see that. But I think the Ravens have the best chance of taking down the Chiefs, and whoever's refereeing the divisional round game is going to get the Super Bowl. And all of these referees, Sean Smith, all of these referees have called Chiefs games. Ron Torbert, Clay Martin, Sean Smith, and Carl Sheffers. All of 4 of these referees have helped the Chiefs win a playoff game. So the Bills and the Ravens are the last line of defense, because if the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl, they're probably going to win, and it's probably going to be due to the officiating. As good as the Lions are, they have 12 players on injured reserve on their defense. That's going to matter at a certain point. I mean, the Ravens and Bills don't have anybody on injured reserve right now. They're the two healthiest teams in the league. The Chargers were the other team in that discussion, but they lost to the Texans. So the Ravens and Bills are literally the last line of defense when it comes to the Chiefs potentially three-peating. But I like the Ravens 27-24 in the snow, and I think it's going to be a heck of a game.
Well, you can play this so many times, and each team is going to go 50-50. They're both great teams, Chris. I love your score. I love your way over-under stuff that I really am not observant of it. I'm not a gambler by any means. It's a fantastic matchup for both teams. Great quarterbacks, different strengths, similar strengths. You got to take it. It's really one of those regular season or matchups. I think it was a Sunday night matchup they had. It's so hard to ignore that the Ravens absolutely dominated the Bills.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say how many yards because that's not in my realm.
199. I pull it up because I got the spread on Fox and I've got the dimers, which gives me the over-under percentages in terms of betting. So I've got Fox Sports with the point spreads, over-unders, and I've got dimers, which gives me the betting percentages for each game. So
yeah, it's 3 times since Allen's rookie season that the Bills lost to the Ravens. It doesn't matter. This is a rematch in the snow in Buffalo. How much can Lamar Jackson be Lamar Jackson in this game? That's what we need to see. I haven't seen him in this kind of environment play like he usually does. So we'll see how it is. We'll see if it comes up. I believe I took the Bills, correct?
yes. I'm guessing we're both going to have the Bills here. Because I've got Ravens 27, Bills 24. I feel like you're going to go Bills 27, Ravens 24.
Yeah, so Bills, if it's snowing, Chris, it's going to be a low-scoring game, even if it may be snowing the whole game. I'm going to take it as a low-scoring game. No more than 2 touchdowns for each team, if that. I'm going to say 17-13, Bills win. And then Bills are the team that wins, whoever wins. Maybe Chiefs will lose. Maybe the Texans will surprise us all. So I'm not benefiting from saying the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl either. So there's a lot of or which team can challenge them. Let's leave it like this, as is, like the open door. I just feel that
I do think Josh Allen will eventually beat Patrick Mahomes, but I think it's going to be in a year or two. I don't think it's going to be this year. I think
it'll be this year. I can make my prediction right now, and we're online.
We'll save that argument, that debate for next week if the Bills win. And if the Ravens win, I'll be debating for the Ravens. Oren will probably be picking the Chiefs in that scenario. But regardless, we will save that conversation for next week, regardless of the outcomes for those 4 games. Let's talk about Ohio State, Notre Dame.
Yeah, so this is a great college matchup. We've been waiting for the championship. All the equation came about. It's all started back in December. Now we're focused here. Great, 2 of the best, I think, 2 quarterbacks that have surprised us all. 2 defenses has also played relatively well during this playoff matchup. My prediction is Riley Leonard and company put it to the Ohio State. I know they've been doing really well, but I just see Notre Dame taking it home this season and being the champions. I'm going to say 28 in a domination, 28-10.
I've got Ohio State winning 31-17, but we both have our teams winning by multiple touchdowns. We both agree.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of Notre Dame at all.
I know you're not a fan of Notre Dame, but we both agree this national title is going to be a blowout and that this game's not going to be as competitive as either of the semifinal games. That was what I was getting at.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun to watch.
But I think it's tied at halftime before Ohio State wins 31-17. I think it's actually tied 17-17 at halftime.
Blowout, Chris. 28-10. But anyway, it's going to be fun. I just feel if Riley Leonard can pull it out, he's going to move his draft stock up too as well. For both quarterbacks, don't get me wrong, but I just feel that we know who the top two are, top 3 or 4. But Riley Leonard is one of those that are third and fourth round. And I just feel he can push himself up to the second round because winning a championship in college football isn't that easy, especially when maybe you were overlooked during the season. And we'll see. I mean, it's fun to watch all the recruiting, all the transfer protocol. We're going to get to the combine next year and next month. I mean, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Senior Bowl in a few weeks, Shrine Bowl's in a few weeks. Shadur will be at the Shrine Bowl, but I'm guessing he'll just interview with the teams like Zay Flowers did, because Zay Flowers practiced once, interviewed with all the teams, but didn't play in the Shrine Bowl. I'm guessing that's what Shadur will end up doing too, but we'll see. I don't want to make that.
He played in a bowl game. I got his ass.
He already played in a bowl game, but he didn't play very well in the bowl game, but he may want to play in the Shrine Bowl to put that bowl game notion to bed, but we'll see. Because you got the Shrine Bowl, you got the Senior Bowl coming up, and then you got the Combine. And I'm working on my first MLB mock, and once that's done, I will post an update for my NFL mock draft, too. So a lot of exciting stuff.
Don't listen to any rumors till they actually happen about coaches and all that stuff. It's all BS.
Yeah, that's why I'm working on the MLB mock now, because all the coaching rumors and all that. Matt Patricia, really the only coaching hire so far this cycle, Oren, but there's other teams that, and you're not allowed to interview the coaches. You can have virtual meetings, but you're not allowed to interview them until they're eliminated from the playoffs. So that's why you're not allowed to hire until they're eliminated from the playoffs. So that's why Patricia's really the only hire so far. Very slow cycle.
You got a coach too, young man.
Yeah, Matt Patricia in New England. He's going to be replacing Mayo. It's going to be great. But yeah, that's Oren Shiri. I'm Chris Ransom. What else should we cover before we sign off?
Not too much is happening. I just feel that I don't want to sign out all the time, but I just feel there's a couple of great football games to watch. I don't know if anybody is keeping up with any of the I don't keep up with it. So did you keep up with the NBA too much, or what's going on with that?
The Cavs are playing the Thunder tonight. Those are the two best records in the league this year, because they played on ESPN a few weeks ago. Cavs won that game in Cleveland last Wednesday, but they're playing in Oklahoma City tonight. The Thunder lead the Cavs by 20 entering the fourth quarter. And I can pull up some stuff quickly. Like I can pull up
Chris, I'm going to sign off over here in about a minute and a half.
I can pull up some stuff though for I can pull up some stuff here and see what else happens. But yeah, if I don't get any scores for like okay, so in the Pistons or the Pacers lead the Pistons by 10 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, you can see that. But yeah, I am going to sign off in a minute. I'm just showing the audience some of the updates for some of the games. So the Suns lead the Wizards 110-93. There's 8:06. Player went out of bounds. So yeah, a turnover.
Well, I just got a notation here, which is really nice. Mark Davis and the Raiders. We haven't spoke about the LA Fires much, but they're very much more contained. And what they have been, Mark Davis and the Raiders just donated about almost $300,000. Not enough, but if all 32 teams could do that, it would be wonderful. And they're the first team to do that. And it's I just wanted to bring that up.
The Thunder lead the Cavs 97-61 in the third quarter. Then I guess I can forget tuning into that game. I mean, shoot, this Devils Maple Leafs hockey game is more competitive than that. But I know you don't care for hockey, so that's Oren. I'm Chris. We will be signing off.
Enjoy your week. Bye.